Welcome to the Product Trading Academy, where we take you from start to finish in your cryptocurrency journey, getting you started and ensuring you are profitable in the end. So I'm Precious Velastive and I will be your tutor for today. So let's dive straight into it and let's add some value. So getting you started with cryptocurrencies, today what we'll be going through is all you need to know about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, its characteristics and what makes it unique, profitability with cryptocurrencies, that is how to invest with cryptocurrencies, which I know a lot of people here are looking forward to. So just follow through, make sure to go through everything from scratch to finish. So what is Bitcoin? Now, it is very important to start from the foundation, because when you're going into any endeavor or anything you're going into, it's best you understand the basics. That way you are able to minimize error early enough and you know exactly what you are getting into. So what is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a digital currency. Yes, it's that simple. It's a digital currency. Now, that just means it cannot be seen, neither can it be touched. Okay, but then the proof of its existence are the transactions that we are able to make with them. Now, let me give an example. Mobile banking apps. Now, depending on the bank you're using, maybe you're using Access Bank, let's see, UBA, whatever bank you are using. Now, how is it that your bank functions with the application? Now, what happens is that your bank takes records of the transaction that you make through that platform, okay, and they use that to determine how much you have left in your account, right, or how much has been added to your account. It's entirely virtual. Now, you know there is no real money in that app. Like if you open up your phone, of course you're not going to see you're not going to see money in there, right? But you're still able to make transactions. How is that possible? So it's just like what I said before. Let's say you want to transfer person A wants to transfer 5,000 naira to person B, right? What happens is on the application, after you've input your details, input your code, and you say I want to, and then you click 5,000. So it's like the platform will record that person A, right, is about or wants to transfer 5,000 to person B. And by the time that is engaged or that is initiated on the application, right, and person B receives that 5,000 naira, it's going to be recorded on the application, okay, that 5,000 naira what has left your account. And then at that person's end, they're going to write what that person B just will receive 5,000 naira. So anytime the bank reviews this, they're able to know that, okay, at this particular point in time, this certain amount of funds were moved from this person's account. So obviously, this person has 5,000 naira less in his account. Okay, and person B has what 5,000 or more in his own account. So that's just basically how it is actually when it comes to Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies in general. Okay, there is no real tangible money anywhere, but then the proof of its existence, what are the transactions that we're able to make with them. So Bitcoin is a global currency. This is something wonderful about it actually, in the sense that Bitcoin is not unique to any particular country. Okay, it's not unique to any particular country. It can be used and it is the same anywhere in the world. Okay, wherever you go to, Bitcoin is still Bitcoin, whether South Africa, whether Nigeria, whether in the US, Bitcoin is still Bitcoin. So that's all about it when I tell you that Bitcoin is a global currency. So Bitcoin is scarce and it is fixed. This is a very interesting characteristics, or rather interesting fact about Bitcoin. Okay, there are only 21 million Bitcoins in existence. Just 21 million. And it's this same 21 million Bitcoins that is being circulated around the world. Now, even the 21 million is not yet complete because they are still being mined. Now, I think there are about 18 million already mined. So we still have about 3 million Bitcoins to go. Now, just look at this. There are 7 billion people in the world, right? And just 21 million Bitcoins. Now, can you see that that ratio is quite vast? Okay. Now, let's say just a portion of the people in the world, let's say we just say half of the people in the world, or let's just say 30% of people in the world want Bitcoin. It's still not enough because there are just 21 million Bitcoin. It's just like trying to share one loaf of bread among 100,000 people. Right now, you see, it's not enough, right? It doesn't go around because it's too little compared to the demand that is placed on it. Therefore, if anyone wants a piece of that bread, right, whoever is going to want is going to pay a high price for it. Now you can see how that contributes to a high value in the price of Bitcoin. Okay, in the sense that it is scarce. That's what I mean by it is scarce. Okay, it's not readily available, it's not in abundance, and it is fixed in the sense that what there are just 21 million Bitcoins in existence. Okay, so the founder of Bitcoin is, let me use someone called Satoshi Nakamoto. But then I won't really say it's someone because it's just an alias. Okay, actually we don't know the person behind the name Satoshi Nakamoto, but we know that when Bitcoin was released, it was released under the name Satoshi Nakamoto. It's just an alias, so it could be a single person, yeah, it could be a woman, it could be a company. Okay, but we do not know the exact person. Of course, quite a number of people over the years have come to claim ownership of Bitcoin, but none of them have proof. Okay, we can't say for sure who released Bitcoin. Okay, so a brief history of Bitcoin. Well, the creation of Bitcoin started in 2008, and the first version of the software was released in 2009. And then let's say Bitcoin started actively moving through the connections in 2011. The characteristics of Bitcoin. Now, the characteristics of Bitcoin is what makes it quite unique compared to other currencies, fiat currencies like the dollar, the naira, the pound. Okay, there's something unique about these cryptocurrencies, and that's the fact that they are transparent. Now, this just means that everyone can see when a transaction takes place. Now, unlike when you make a transaction in your bank, it's just your bank and maybe CBN or the central bank that knows that something has happened, that a transaction has been made, right? Just your bank and maybe you that sends the money. But when it comes to cryptocurrencies, anytime a transaction is made, right, anybody looking at the, how should I say it now, the network can know that a transaction has taken place, right? They can see that a certain coin was moved from one place to another at a particular point in time. But the thing is that it still remains largely anonymous, okay? Because every person connected to the network is represented by a string of letters and numbers, okay? So you're largely anonymous, even if it is transparent. So the next thing is it is permissionless. Now, this means you can transfer as much crypto or as much Bitcoin as you want at any point in time, as opposed to when we want to make transactions in our banks. The moment it gets to a certain stage, right, as you want to transfer in quite hundreds of millions, and it doesn't even need to reach hundreds of millions, okay? When it gets to a particular point in time, your bank will call and say, "How are you? Are you about to initiate this transaction?" You get, it will raise a flag somewhere. But when it comes to cryptocurrencies, you can transfer at any amount at any point in time with no one flagging you down. Okay. Next, so there are no transactional complications. Now, if you do it correctly, of course, if there's no human error from your part, you will not have any issue. Like you don't see issues where you're like we say, like you try to transfer money in your bank and then it hangs and you're like, oh my god, my money has hung. This doesn't happen with cryptocurrencies, okay? As long as you fill in and you follow the processes how you're supposed to, you're not going to have any issues from the network itself. So there is no middleman. For example, your banks. Okay, with the cryptocurrency, you can directly transfer to whoever you want to transfer. Okay, anywhere in the world, right? Directly. Person has his wallet, you have your wallet. Okay, you can transfer to the person directly. You don't need any middleman to stand in for you. So Bitcoin is divisible. Now, this is one of the most interesting characteristics of Bitcoins, because you see Bitcoin in worth one Bitcoin worth tens of thousands of dollars, and you don't have $10,000. So how are you going to own Bitcoin? Okay, I mean, you just want to get started, right? You just want to start making money with this thing. So obviously, you do not have $17,000 to purchase one Bitcoin. And that's the beautiful thing about cryptocurrencies, in the sense that you can buy any amount of cryptocurrencies that you want. Okay, that is why you see divisions. Okay, you can see division of Bitcoin 0.0000. That's accounted to the divisibility of Bitcoin. Okay, so you can buy any amount that you want. So that's just a brief run through on the characteristics of Bitcoin. Now, the blockchain technology. Now, this is what makes, how shall I say it now, the functionality of cryptocurrencies possible, because this is where they all exist. They exist on the blockchain technology. Now, like your apps, right? There are sets of codes and programs that guide the way they work and behave, right? The blockchain technology can be likened to that for cryptocurrencies. Okay. Now, what is the blockchain technology? Now, this enables distributed public ledgers, right, that hold immutable data in a secure and encrypted way and ensure that transactions can never be altered. Now, let me break down this grammar a bit for you. Now, a ledger is just where things are recorded, okay? And now, immutable just means unchangeable data in a secure and unchangeable way that the transactions can never be altered. Now, let me break this down and give a clearer picture. Google Docs, which some of us would have used before. Google Docs. Now, you know when you use your Google Docs, you can type in that document, right, and share with other people who can edit that document with you. Or if you like, you can just let them see it and not be able to edit it, right? So let's liken the blockchain technology to that. Now, just imagine and picture the Google documents, I mean the Google Docs. So now, you know that anytime you type in something on your end, and if you've shared the link with someone else, anytime you type in something on that document on your end, it's going to reflect on the other person's end, right? Isn't it? It will. Any change you make on that document will reflect in all the other channels or all the other positions or all the other links or the other people that have access to that Google document. Okay, so the same goes with the blockchain technology in the sense that when a transaction is made, right, it's going to reflect everywhere. That is why it's going to reflect everywhere. Now, imagine if that Google document, right, cannot be altered. Like the moment you type in something, you can't change it. Okay, the moment it's typed in and it's shown on someone's end, you cannot change it. Now, you can see why this thing can function as a currency. In the sense that someone cannot just go there, right, and just change something, right? Because it's immutable, it is unchangeable, it can never be altered, then it can function as a currency because that automatically eliminates the double spend problem. Okay, it eliminates the double spend problem. Now, the blockchain technology, every transaction, right, just like I mentioned, is shared between those nodes in the network. Like I mentioned, like the document, I mean, the people you sent these links to, okay, that can also view it. Now, nodes are basically chains of computers readily connected together, right? They are responsible for the mining of cryptocurrencies. So anytime a transaction takes place, they are going to be alerted, and the system is going to do what? Self audits that transaction. And when that happens, blocks are being formed, okay? And then when the transaction gets added, right, and it reaches the other end, we can say the chain is complete, hence the blockchain technology. Now, all these things, they happen in seconds or in minutes, okay? Even if it's a long process, excuse me. Now, even if you've played Tetris before, I'm sure you'll be able to get a picture of this. You know how you you play the blocks of Tetris until they are complete, and then when the blocks are formed completely, what happens? It starts again. Quite similar to how the blockchain technology works. So obviously, you can be a successful trader or earning with cryptocurrencies without this knowledge, but it helps to know what goes on behind the scenes. Next is Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. They do what? They fluctuate in price, like I've explained before. Okay, there is a demand and there is a supply of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, right? And this causes a fluctuation in the price. And let me just, it's not to shock you, but let me just mention a brief chronological increase in the price of Bitcoin. In around 2009, when Bitcoin first came out, it was selling for under $1. Okay, under $1. And then in 2014, it was selling for over $400. Right? That's just in the space of what, 5 years, $400. Now it even gets better because in December 2017, Bitcoin had grown to over $20,000. Yes, and even today, Bitcoin is around $17,000 as I'm recording this video. Okay, so you can see there is a rise and fall in the price of Bitcoin, and it's quite phenomenal actually. Which is why you can plug into this space and make a boatload of profit. Pardon my friends. Okay. So Bitcoin fluctuates in price because there is a demand and a supply for it. The more people want it, right? There are things that influence. The more people want Bitcoin, obviously, there's going to be an increase in price, and the less there's a demand for it, the price will come down. So that can account for the fluctuations in the price of cryptocurrencies or Bitcoin. So finally, how to invest in cryptocurrency, which I can tell is the moment of truth for quite a number of people. Okay, so I'll quickly run through it. Now, there are various ways to invest in cryptocurrencies. Okay, now the first one is the long-term investment, which is you buying the cryptocurrencies to sell it in 5 to 6 years time. For example, look at when Bitcoin first came out in 2009 was selling for under $1, and then in just 5 years time was selling for $400. That's a large margin of profit. Okay, so some people do that. Now some people buy low and sell high. It's just like the long-term investment, but not as long-term, not projecting 5 to 6 years time. People just buy the cryptocurrency when it's low, and when they notice that it is high, they quickly sell it off. Okay, and that way they're able to make profit. The next one is daily trading. Yes, you see it's even spinning, right? Daily trading. That's because we'll be focusing a lot on this. But daily trading is basically when a trader buys low and sells it as a higher value, and does it every day. Okay, because remember, cryptocurrencies fluctuate in price, so this is maximizing and leveraging on that every day. Okay, catching the spikes, jigger, taking those profits and using it to compound your profit. That's what daily trading is about. Now finally, buying and reselling to people. This is one major way which people also make profits in cryptocurrencies, in the sense that they buy the cryptocurrencies at a particular dollar rate. It's common in Nigeria, and then they sell it at a higher dollar value. Imagine you bought your crypto or your Bitcoin at a rate of 400 naira per dollar. Okay, and then by the time you want to sell it to someone, you sell it at the rate of 430 naira per dollar. Now you see that way you are able to make profit. So that's just one of the ways. Like I said, we'll be focusing on daily trading. Okay, because there is quite a massive potential to leverage the spikes, the rise and fall in the price of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies every day, and this way in the long run you are able to amass quite a lot of profit. Okay, now there are other cryptocurrencies, of course, like Libra, Ripple, EOS, Litecoin, right? Quite a lot, and they are called altcoin. Okay, that's coined from the word alternative coins. Okay, so that's just a basic knowledge and a basic foundation in cryptocurrencies. So thanks for joining, and let's get you started in making profit. Okay, trading cryptocurrencies.